So there's the backup, there's the main camera rolling, and I just want to thank you for coming on. Don't be nervous at all. This is a fly on the wall, so it's just me and you having a real conversation, and the subtle kind of format is start, middle, and end. You know what I mean? Because we only know each other really from the gym,
Yeah.
and I've came across obviously some of your fighting career, you know, on the socials. So it's actually probably really good that I don't know, like I don't even know if you're from Ards or North Down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll go right back to the start. We'll get into the middle of it, which I would imagine is, you know, your fighting career, your new promotions, and your new podcast.
Yeah.
And then obviously we'll just wrap things up by what does the future hold. So that's it. That is it. So okay, where are you from? Where's Mel from?
Mel is actually originally from Stranraer in Scotland.
Ah,
So,
in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where the dodgy accent comes
The
from.
twang.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. So.
Well, there's the first curveball.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be a few.
A few curveballs.
Yeah.
Okay, strap in, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Born and raised.
But my parents are both English.
Oh fuck! There we go.
Here we go. So my parents are both from Yorkshire, but they moved to Scotland. My dad was starting up a business at chartering fishing.
Very good.
So they moved to Stranraer. Well, it's the Mulligalloway.
Yes.
So you'll have heard of Port Patrick.
Of course.
It's
Yeah.
on past Port Patrick, the middle
Right.
of nowhere. So I grew up on farms, basically. There's the farm cottages.
Yeah.
Till I was there till I was about 17. Till I came
Yeah,
across here.
it's funny. That's why I love these wee shows, right? Because first off, curveball. Do you know what I mean? And then the Port Patrick thing, years and years and years ago. Because I'm not from here either. I grew up in Antrim. And I moved up here about 20 years ago, and got a few friends and whatnot, and they all had boats and shit, or their dad had a boat, or their uncle had a boat, and they used to borrow boats. And they said to me one morning, it was a bank holiday Monday, and they were like, do you want to go out in the boat? I was in Kelly's in Port Rouge that Saturday. I said, what do you mean you want to go out in the boat? Well, it's a bank holiday Monday, you know, we're all off. Do you want to go out in the boat? I was like, okay. I said, where are we going? And they said, well, we're going to the Offie first, and then we're going to Port Patrick.
Yeah.
I was just like, fucking bring it on. Now,
It's not that far. I think
really
it's
not.
like 20 miles or there or thereabouts.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't want to go off on a wee tangent yet. But we'll save that story for another
That sounds
time.
like an interesting. I bet
It was an interesting, scary one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so curveball. Let's put Port Patrick on the shelf for a while.
Yeah.
Stranraer.
Yeah.
Scottish parents or
English parents
in
born
Scotland.
in Scotland. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
brilliant.
here.
And then, so what was primary school like over there?
So it was I lived in like a rural outside the village, so
Yes.
not even I lived 5 miles outside the village.
Yeah.
So the village was it was very the primary school was tiny. So the highest like population of pupils when I was in that primary school was 52 in the whole school.
Wow.
So we had 2 classrooms. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
It's different times, isn't it? Like it is different times.
Oh, and now obviously I have my own children that have 2 that have just gone through primary school and are going into secondary school, and it's just everything's so different.
Two different worlds.
Yeah.
It's even like I forget what age I am, and then because I'm 45 this year, and time, but it doesn't bother me but you do notice changes, and like I'm turning into my dad. I used to always say to my dad, "Fuck's it, dad, wise up."
Yeah.
I'm starting to get on like my dad now, because like I don't think the world's moving in the right way. Like it's getting worse. Like
I think children are teenagers before they're teenagers. And
all that kind of do not
yeah.
start me.
No.
So obviously I have 2 wee girls at home, and like just I don't want to go off on a tangent too early, but what the fuck are they doing? Now this is in the clothes shops.
Yeah.
Marketing bikinis to fucking primary school kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like so don't start me. It's fucking wrong, right?
There's that, and then on the other hand, I have a 9-year-old who won't wear. She's paranoid about her body, and when she goes swimming, she wants to wear shorts. I'm like, you're 9 years old.
9 years. It's all social media.
Yeah,
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause, so say in primary school, you know, or high school, or even in life, you know, as adults now, if someone had a wee verbal dig at you,
Yeah.
you know, now it's social media.
Yeah.
and people are more braver behind the screen.
Yeah.
So God love the kids. Like they're getting.
They're horrible.
They're horrible. Kids are wee demons anyway.
Yeah, no,
but you put a phone in their hand and someone that isn't in there clicking school.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
But that's it's a I suppose this wee conversation. It's a great advocate to get children into martial arts.
Oh yeah, I let that little bit of discipline.
That little bit of discipline and being able to
get a little bit of thick skin about them.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you find primary school?
I enjoyed it.
What was your favourite subject? Was it the same curriculum as over here?
Yeah, it was. Well, obviously, I think we would have done RE, and RE would have been slightly different. And,
yeah.
But it was with being a smaller school, I think it probably was different because there wasn't different sort of levels. Like I was in P1, I was in the same class with the same teacher with all P1s, 2s, 3s up. So it wasn't just P1 in the class. You were a mix. So although you had your certain year group work, you still did work as a total, as a whole. So you were doing the same work as the P3s when you're in P1.
Wow, so it kind of brings you on a bit.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that, but then when I actually must have been secondary school, but when I got to big school, everything went south. But no, it was. I thought it was quite. When I look now, I would have preferred my kids to have maybe had that sort of learning environment.
Serious? Yeah, me too. Everything's totally changed, and the penny kind of dropped for me just how much things have changed. Is whenever COVID happened, and the teachers sent the homeworks home.
Oh yeah.
I was like, fuck off.
It made me appreciate teachers more.
Yeah, 100%. But I just found like I was sitting googling stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I
was like, you know what I mean? I was like, there's no way that's the kids' homework or schoolwork. They're not doing that and then coming home. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, I was like maybe I was high school stuff.
Yeah. Oh, some of the stuff they bring home, I've no clue. I have no clue. And then there's maybe a way I would have done it, and they're like, no, we'll get marked wrong for doing that. I'm like, but you get the same answer.
I know. My dad always just said to me too, we done it different.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I was thinking, fucking dead on. You just said that you didn't want to help. And now I'm at the stage where I'm like, no, but that's how I was taught to do it. And they're like, no, it's different. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
we save homework for when we go to Nanny and Granddad's.
Oh, right, very good. You're a wise woman. So when how did you end up from Strand? Did you stay in Stranraer or did you come over here?
Yeah,
what was it?
I was over there then. So my mum and dad split up when I was 6, but they both stayed. They had promised each other that while I was their youngest, until I was at least 16, they would stay close, so that there was no like having to travel or anything like that. Which nice. They're still the best of friends. They had real good. It was like a good breakup. Yeah. As well as they could be. So basically, when I was about 7, they both kind of found new partners. Yes. And my mum she's still with him, an American.
Wow, here we go.
It's like I don't know. I don't know if it's Jeremy Kyle or what. But,
it's still early.
So she married an American he was my stepdad and still is. Yes. I'm still very close with him from I was 7. So he's always been there, part of my life.
And was he in? So he was American. He came to Stranraer.
He was in. So.
Oh shit.
So he was with a Scottish woman and they split up, but they had a child, so he stayed. Yes. He stayed in Scotland to be around his son, my stepbrother. But so they were in Scotland. He had got a job. He used to like train heating engineers. Yes. So he a lot of the time he was having to travel over on the boat every week. And then I sort of I was around 17, and he was offered it must have been a better job, but it was within the same company. Yeah. But it would mean having to move over, so they moved over, and I came with them because I was 17 in Stranraer. If you've been there, the best thing about it is the road out. No, there's not much in Stranraer. Yeah. There's no
option. There are opportunities.
No, it's not very. It's a very small-minded. There's place, because it's getting better now, but you went to tech and you're a hairdresser or a joiner.
Got you. And that was the narrative.
And that was about the height of it.
Your dad was a joiner and your granddad was a joiner.
Yeah.
You're going to be a joiner.
Yeah. So I did do hairdressing. I qualified as a hairdresser.
Oh, very good.
I just knew I didn't want to.
Yeah, it didn't resonate with you. You knew there was a bigger world out there.
Yeah. So when I made the decision. My dad's still in Stranraer, but I made the decision to move over here with my mum and my stepdad.
You were 17?
Yeah.
17, straight to Yards?
Bangor.
Were you in Bangor?
Yeah.
So I see you walking along the carriageway?
Yeah.
Is that just to get your steps in?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, because you were, I was thinking, well, I knew you were in, like a fight camp, and then I was like, because we train in Ards, I thought that you lived in Ards.
No.
And then I was thinking, why are you walking across the carriageway? The carriageway's from Ards to Bangor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet she's getting her steps in to try and get her to cut weight and stuff.
Yeah. If I've had a day where I don't think I've done enough, I'll
You'll walk the carriageway. Yeah, that's commitment. Like.
Yeah. Well,
that's.
You feel better for it after. It's tough at the time.
Yeah. No, we'll get to all that fight camp stuff. So did you move straight over to Bangor then from Stranraer?
Yeah.
Or,
I don't think I could live anywhere else now. Obviously I've grown up around the ocean.
Yeah.
So I love Bangor.
Of course.
And if you go down, although I wasn't Port Patrick, Bangor, the marina and stuff kind of gives me Port Patrick vibes.
Absolutely. No,
So,
I get that.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Antrim. And I know it's only, I don't know, 45 minutes up the road or something. But whenever we used to get a bus, and we would have, at the weekend, we either would have went to Kelly's Port Rush,
Yes.
or we would have went to the Boom Boom Rooms.
Yeah.
And then obviously ended up moving up here, and it was coastal time.
Yes.
And a couple of mates that I met up here, like, they didn't celebrate the 11th or 12th or anything.
Yeah.
They just got a carry out and went down to the harbour.
Yes.
All around there.
Yeah.
So that's what I done then with them. And we were sitting there one day, sun was splitting the trees, we had all our beer in the wee rock pools.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it, like, my mind was blown. Usually growing up in Antrim, like, I would have built the bonfire every summer holidays, and built huts and built prams out of the bunny hut, and that was just it was just how I grew up in Antrim. So it was weird on the 11th sitting in the, like, it was like on holiday.
Yeah.
It was like it could have been in some beach in Spain. We were sitting, it was the 11th. No one mentioned anything about bonfires or anything.
No.
We were sitting in the rock pools with our cold beers, sun splitting the trees, and I'll never forget it. Like a school of dolphins.
Yeah.
Come swimming now. They're like a cousin of a dolphin or something like.
Yeah. No, they're still dolphins.
Still dolphins.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck? The dolphins come round the coastline, and I was sitting there. We were drinking Carlsberg at the time, and the big advertisement about Carlsberg back then was it's probably the best lager in the world or something. So everybody was joking about, I guess it's probably the best day in the world, all this kind of stuff. And then the fucking dolphins come around.
You were just expecting a rainbow or something?
I could not believe it. I was like, fuck this, I'm never going back to Antrim. This is fucking brilliant.
I've 2 stories off the back of that.
Yeah.
I moved over on the 10th of July.
Oh, very good.
I had no idea. I knew that where I'm from, I might have had, say I had a Rangers top on, my best friend would have had a Celtic top.
Yes, they don't have that over there.
No, well, some places they do, like Glasgow and stuff like that, but no, there's no. I didn't know about bonfires. I knew about the parade, but I didn't know the bonfires or anything before I moved over. So I moved over the 10th, and it was I must have moved over the 11th. I moved over the 11th because the next day I went to explore where I just moved to, and the parades were in Bangor. So we got to the end. I lived near Ward Park, so I got to the end of my road and there was all these coaches and buses, and I was like, what is going on here? And then obviously with exploring more, I was like, what is
what have I moved into? Because that would have been a big mind kind of.
Oh, it was class.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
Yeah, considering the contrast from Stranraer being such a, Well, it is what it
The
is.
biggest sort of parade there is Christmas time, where a tractor pulls Santa
Stop it.
on his sleigh. That's about the height of what I was.
And then
used
you're
to-
straight into
straight
the
into-
12th of July.
Yeah, when it was in, but like it was one of the, you know how it changes. It was back in Bangor that
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that was like
So it was the main
yeah.
one.
so straight in with the culture.
I know. And no, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because that would have been, because I know I didn't really want to move up to Bangor, but again, it was like I was, you know, young, and it was like, well, I still wanted to live for the weekend, and my wages were my party money.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of like, well, you know, I'll go with mum and dad, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then honestly, Bangor, it was like Las Vegas stripped to me. Because in Antrim you had one or two pubs,
Yeah.
and I was usually barred from both.
Yeah.
So then up in Bangor, it was like, it was hustle and bustle, like, it was pumping, it was
Have you
vibing.
been there recently?
Yeah.
I can't, even from I moved, like obviously I hear stories about all the old clubs and stuff, and about how the buses used to come down.
Yeah, well,
but
I was one of those guys.
Well, when I started going out, they still would have came down, because I think it was Cafe at the time. Cafe Kale.
Yeah,
I think that's what it would have been. It might have been whatever it was before that, and then round the corner, and those buses from Belfast would have come down every weekend, and then it
was
sort
brilliant.
of yeah.
It was really, really brilliant.
Yeah.
Monday night would have been half price wine
Yes,
night.
yeah, in Cafe would have been all over that.
Yep, yep.
Sunday night was Fusion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday night was students' night.
Yeah.
And then you were back into, you know, the weekend again.
Yeah.
It just, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like, I really appreciated it. But all my friends were like, it's fucking shithole. I was like, is it? I said, go and live in Glengormley for fucking 7 years, yeah, and then come back up. You know, or, you know, other towns just aren't like it.
No.
And it is sad to see its demise. Like,
I think it could be such a beautiful place. Well, it is, and especially on a sunny day, as you said.
Of course, around the coastline.
Now, whether you're out having a drink or you're, you know, with your family, it is lovely.
It is lovely. You know, it's just a shame. You know, I don't know what's going on with the Queen's Parade. It's before our time.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. Like
it is.
have you heard any news about it getting developed? Because all you read about green light, it's all go.
And then it's nothing happens here.
I haven't seen a brick being laid yet.
Yeah.
Like.
And I don't think, for me, I would like to see, obviously, I love the way they've painted all the sort of derelict buildings and stuff like
they're
that.
making a.
But I would love to see more invested in actually, like, when I first moved over here as a teen, again coming from Shinar, even going down on a Saturday shopping, you'd go to the flagship and it was heaving. There'd be like Cool FM would be doing like a talent show in the middle of it.
I know.
There wasn't a closed shop up on Main Street.
And then the second level, you had all the food.
Yeah, and it was rammed.
And how does something like that change?
Yeah, well, I think
How do you break that?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be the rates down there, and then obviously the shopping centres opening all the.
And then I suppose Amazon kind of plays its part. People don't go into the town.
No, not really if you go to one place and sit.
Pick up your phone.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
Like literally everything.
Yeah.
I think I bought fucking Radox for the bath the other day.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I know.
You know, you can literally, everything here was bought on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I get it, like, but ultimately, you know, what I loved about Bangor when I first moved up, when you walk down, you know, High Street or Main Street, you knew it was Easter.
Yeah.
You knew it was Valentine's.
Yeah.
You knew it was Halloween.
Yeah.
You knew it was Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and growing up in a town and living in other towns, you wouldn't fucking know what, it's just the same day. It could be Christmas Eve or Halloween night. They didn't do anything.
No.
You know, whereas at least in Bangor, you know,
I feel like arts does more now. There's always arts seem to be putting.
I love arts now, and I think it's definitely an age thing as well. Obviously, I like Bangor when I was a wee bit younger because you could party 24/7. But arts is good now because it still has its own independent fruit and veg guy.
Yeah.
Still has its own, you know, master butchers, you know, second generation family, you know, that kind of stuff. It still has a heart. You've got Wardens, it still does a Christmas display.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and you've got, you know, like the Bull and Claw, and, you know, you've got Romas for a good pint, you know, and even the parlour now, where you can sit out the front.
Got the beer, and stuff,
you know, so I agree with you. Ours is better now.
Yeah.
And it still has a heart.
Yeah.
You know, every other town, you know, Tesco's, Asda, just take over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It feels more like local. I know that sounds really...
No, I get it. I totally agree.
It just is, like, it's very much you walk around and you're looking at
That's what I'm
local
saying.
people.
Yeah, it's still second, third generation.
Yeah.
You know, whereas now, Tesco's, you know, moves in, makes fruit and veg really, really cheap, does the second, third generation fruit and veg family out of business,
Yeah.
and then they produce shit. Like, have you ever got some fruit and you leave it, you know, in the fruit bowl and it's fucking fluffy the next day?
I will be honest. It was only for the first time. It was for my last camp I was in. It was the first time I went to that greengrocers, and I don't think from when I was a child I ate fruit or veg out of. So I went and I was like, this is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it was when I really noticed the difference. I hear people say, but
no, there's a real difference.
No, I noticed, and I even got like was able to get like raw honey and all kinds of stuff from in there, and I was like, this is.
That's what
and
you
it
want.
just it's just different.
You know, it's the quality goes out the window when you're buying, you know,
like when you're
and God love the farmers too. All the big chains are fucking, you know, farmers are you know, the milk, you know, it's the butchers, the milk, the fruit and veg. It's like Tesco's has to fuck off.
Yeah.
Leave them all alone, because it is destroying the towns. Like, and I think ours hasn't like sold out or something.
Yeah.
They still have it. Like,
yeah, it's still there.
It's still there. It's really, really cool. Like, so where are we now? We're around 17. You've just hit the 12th. You had your first march.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an experience. It was great.
Yeah.
So when I came over, I went back. I obviously didn't have a job or anything.
Yeah.
I just qualified as a hairdresser, but I didn't feel
that
that
wasn't your path.
I just didn't feel confident in that. I did it and I finished my course. To finish the course, I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Live as such and had a job for a year or two as a hairdresser. You'd finished your course.
Yeah. So
it's completely different, isn't it?
It is, and it's over there as well. I found with the hairdressing, you do you're in tech more than you're out in placement. Whereas over here, there's that many places you're out in placement, and then you only are in tech maybe for one day.
Yeah. So
whereas you were the other way around. So I didn't have with hairdressing. You can have, and I'm sure it's the same with your job and your business. You can read up and you can as much as you want, but it's actually you're learning. And like you explained, when you're doing these, you're learning every one.
You're learning every one.
Yeah.
Because I always have this debate. You've got theorists. You've got practitioners.
Yeah.
You know, somebody can read a book on how to be the best hairdresser on the planet.
Yeah. But
until you actually practice it,
yeah,
you'll never truly learn.
Yeah, and that's me. I'm hands on. I learn hands on.
I fall 7 times, get up 8.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it should be normalised.
Yeah.
Everybody's just scared to look stupid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
I think it's inherent. Or maybe it's just like, you know, I don't know. But everybody's just scared to look stupid. But if anything comes, like, how many times learning how to fight have you looked stupid? Do you know what I mean? And your coach, and I know you coach now too, but like he's just been a rabbit in the head, like their coach, and their coach is instructing them, and you're like,
have you got that yet?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fucking 3 months later, yeah. But I wish whenever I was younger, I had a healthier attitude towards looking stupid, looking vulnerable, being scared. It's only when I matured. And got older, it's like, right, I'm not progressing in life here because I'm scared of what people think. You know, that kind of thing. Whereas, you know, you have to, you know, like go to the gym and even if it's, you know, striking, you know, it's so detailed. Yeah. You're never going to get it right.
No.
And whether it's college, fighting, you know, being a parent, like, Nobody gets anything right the first time.
No.
And I think that should be normalised. It's okay to fall 7 times to get a 8 and look silly, blah blah blah. Because if you don't, I think the alternative is, you know, you get to your 50s or 60s and you're like, I've made a mistake. Like,
why didn't I do that?
Why didn't I do that?
The regret.
The regret, and I think it's what is it the saying? You'll regret the things you don't do
more than the things.
More than the things you did do.
And this is that's something I remind myself of quite a lot. That saying.
Yeah.
You'll regret, like, even. Obviously, we'll talk more about my fighting and stuff, but I went for quite a big losing streak where it was like I look stupid. Why am I fighting people? People would say to me, you've lost a couple now, would you not give up? Do you know?
Yeah. That's the
and then I could have quite easily, but then I would say, if I don't do this because I can do it, I'll regret not doing it. I'd rather regret. Do you know? I'd rather regret doing it than not doing it.
100%. But where do you think that came from? Was that just in you?
I think a mixture of obviously getting older, as you said, as you matured, but then also it is the gym, the whole martial arts aspect, and then obviously Arno. Arno has been such a mentor. I've been through some of the hardest times over the last few years, but I've also, as a person, grown so much, and it is of the influence of the people in there, the influence of Arno, the influence of other people that I've met. I've just been very, very lucky. And I do feel like, although I've had some of the toughest times, I've grown so much.
Just to touch on Arno, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Oh yes.
He is.
He's a wee dick, like. He's
a gag, like. But he's so knowledgeable too.
I forget sometimes. So I'm 6 months older than Arno.
Yes.
So I'm exactly 6 months older than him, but I forget that he is younger than me.
Yes.
Because he's just wee Grandamish. Like he's just so. He is so knowledgeable, and he's so the way he looks at things is very good. He's very good. Like you were saying earlier about feeling stupid, he'll say that to you listening to the voices. You've two sets of voices in your head. You've the good voices, and you'll always, everybody has them that will bring you the negative vibes, and he's like, stop listening, try and tune into the good things and ignore those little voices, and it's from that. I'm at a stage now where I can say, right, that's just those voices that are telling me
you can buy into either or.
But
a lot of people kind of buy into the negative, like, just naturally, because no one had that interventive talk with them.
No.
Look, because I there's two sides to every story. You know what kind of thing? It's like you can listen to the voice in the head that is going to tell you you're being stupid, you're not good enough. You can't progress. That's not you. But sometimes I'll sit up here and it's quiet, and there is another voice. You know, that gives you positive, advice. I just the world we live in now, it's great that there is podcasts like yours and ours. Where people can choose to have a positive, encouraging kind of influence. Because I don't watch TV, like.
No, I don't either.
But I turned it on out of pure curiosity, say a couple of months ago now. Because sometimes you'd miss, just crouching on the sofa and the EastEnders coming on. It kind of reminds me of, growing up. So I put the TV on a couple of months ago, and it just happened to be the news. Holy fuck.
There's literally not one good thing.
I mean, I don't think I got a minute. There was fucking 3 rapes, 2 deaths, a fucking don't start me. It was fucking intense. And because I was so not used to it anymore, because I don't watch mainstream media, news, etc. It was like, what the fuck's going on? It kind of motivated and encouraged me to do more of these. People need to have a fucking. There's no encouragers anymore.
No, I think it's very negative, and then we wonder why people are living in fear, and
absolutely,
it's because if they're at home and all they see is that news. If you imagine
brainwashing.
Older people, they do not leave their homes at the best of times, and they're sat and they won't have a mobile phone. Some of them will, but
they're not going to tune in.
They're relying on knowing what's going on in the world and around them by watching, tuning in.
And it's reinforced because their peer group, or their neighbour is also getting fucking brainwashed by all this propaganda, fear mongering, fucking. Sure, World War III's been happening since I was fucking 30. It's like you can't. No one will tell me that's not by design.
No,
they know what they're doing, and that's why we need to make more podcasts.
That's why we need to.
We need to do more.
Spread the positivity.
Spread the positivity.
It is true though. If you're positive, the more positive you are, and the more people you choose that are positive to be around, the more positive your life becomes. And
you make healthier choices because you're not scared.
It's that saying that if you are around 3 people that are sad, you become the 4th sad person. If you become 3 people that are maybe into I don't know, something they shouldn't be. You normally become the fourth person into it, and if you're if you are around 3 people that are positive, you become the fourth positive person.
I know, and it's so true. So we need to encourage more people to get to the gym.
Well, this is my whole, why I'm here sat with you now.
Yes.
My whole journey from very early on has been to inspire particularly females.
Absolutely. So will we touch on your new fighting promotion, or will we touch on it after your fighting career?
Let's go fighting.
Right, so you moved to Bangor.
I moved to Bangor.
And so what gyms were open then?
I didn't train. I've only been at this 4 years.
4 fucking years?
Yeah. So
wow, you fitted a lot in. What?
So I moved over, and that basically, I'm gonna fast forward and then we'll go back. But 5 years ago, I was 102 kilograms in weight, which is I think 17 stone or something.
Wow, I seen that photograph.
Yeah. I didn't walk the length of myself.
And you're not that tall.
Well, 5'6", so
5'6".
I'm not short.
No, you're short, but 17 stone.
Yeah, I was.
You weren't hiding that.
No, I wasn't. I was a chunky girl.
And were you always like that, or did you just kind of?
Not as a kid, and it was basically when I moved. When I started, I used to do a bit of like squash and stuff. When I was maybe about 13,
Yes.
I tried kickboxing for a couple of weeks, loved it. But then around that time, I also discovered that I could get into the bars. I was 14, 15. I also discovered that I could get into the bars, so that was
out the window.
Out the window.
Everybody's downfall.
Yeah, and then it was obviously I discovered drinking, and then I was more. So we lived in the town, so I would go, or we lived out of the town. I would go stay in the town with my friends.
Got you.
Obviously, parents were not
I
aware
know,
that
I
I
know,
was in the
I
bars,
know.
but I was also then able to. I had access to more sort of food. And then when I moved over here, then I learned to drive over here, so I wasn't walking anymore. And we have McDonald's or KFC or anything, everything on it. So it just spiraled, and I just piled the weight on. And I don't remember putting weight on. I just remember. I remember feeling bigger and trying to lose weight and stuff, but it was only after I had my kids that I had that self-conscious, of being. I'm heavy, and it would be to a point where I would, anytime I would go on a night out, I'd have a meltdown before, because I felt horrible in my clothes and in my body.
Oh really?
Yeah. If you see any pictures from back then, it's very early. It'll be full body. My profile picture is my head. Great pictures. I'd be in the back. Even sitting here, you'll see sometimes even right now. Well, right now I feel chunky compared to it, because I'm obviously. I'm out of camp, so I've enjoyed myself. So you'll see me sat here.
No, but you're far from the picture that you put on.
Absolutely.
On Facebook, and I've seen it, and I was like, holy shit! But that was that's inspiring. Like, do you know what I mean? So what was the breaking point where you went, fuck this?
I just absolutely hated myself, and then the kids. I didn't want them to
be influenced, for that to be normalised.
Yeah, and then I didn't want my girls feeling like I felt when they got older, or my son as well.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to be more active. I was always active. Like in primary school, I would have played with the boys rather than the girls.
Yeah.
I would have been playing football.
Yeah.
So then to struggle to play around the way I would have, I just got super lazy. So I was
and what did day one look like? Did you go out walking? Did you start a gym? Did you reach out to a PT?
No, I had friends. I had friends that one of my friends actually owned a gym.
Yes.
And it was friends of a friend, and they were all going. It was more the girls. They went to school with him, and so he sort of was encouraging them to go to his gym, and they were like, just come with us. And I was like, right. So I messaged him, because obviously I knew him, I'd been in his circle and stuff. I was like, right, I'll go. And they were like, come, make sure you do it. So I spoke to him, got it organised. I think it was 3 times I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
It was, I think I made up, I had an ear infection, kids were sick, I just could.
Well, 3's not bad.
Yeah.
People do 3 years before they go.
Well, I went, and then I just it clicked with the food and stuff because I'd never had it explained. So I went from, my dad would be quite strict with us with food when we were younger.
Yeah.
You were, you had your 5 fruit and veg a day.
Yeah.
You had chips once a week.
Yeah.
There was occasionally you had a bag of crisps, but there's definitely no more than 1 bag of crisps.
Yeah, there was a multi-pack sitting in the cupboard.
Did buy chocolate. There was like digestive biscuits. You'd have a biscuit, but if you're hungry, you'd have the fruit first.
Yes.
Then you'd have maybe a bit of toast.
Got ya.
There was no no takeaways.
No.
No. Birthdays we would go out for
a
meal.
Of course.
My dad would be very much like me. He gets to a certain point, or it's very easy if he ate how he wanted to, he would be big.
Yeah.
So he knows how
he knows himself.
Yeah. So we sort of ate like he does it naturally. So then when I moved over here and I had free range. It's great. I have such. I would say if I went to doctors and had a chat about my relationship with food now, I would have an eating disorder.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of us would.
Well, that carried on, so that's how it was. I moved over here and I binged, because I could.
Yeah, you don't really want it.
I just ate, and then it became
Indulge.
my way of dealing with emotion would be if I was happy, let's have cake.
Let's eat. Yeah.
If I'm sad, I need chocolate. So even now with the camps and stuff, which is a reason why I'm not fighting anymore, I would get weight cut, water cut, binge, because I'd restricted myself for those amount of weeks. I would, as soon as my fight was done, I would go
crazy.
Mad.
I know. It's kind of like we all have this internal kind of thermostat. It's kind of like, for me, if I didn't have a beer for 3 months, like, I'm going fucking nuts.
You're gonna have.
Everybody has their vice.
Yeah.
Whether it's food, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whether it's gambling, whether it's prostitutes.
Yeah.
We're all subject to our own vices.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I would never, ever, ever gamble.
No.
I mean, doesn't make any sense to me. But there's some people you just.
And they love it.
They fucking love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas I just doesn't. But we all have our crosses to bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the beauty of you getting to the other side of yours.
Yeah.
Is that you can educate us all.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do now. At this point, I was working in a hairdresser's over here.
Okay.
I wasn't hairdressing at the time. I had gone back to hairdressing, came away from it. I was a manager in Asda for a little while. Went back into the hairdressing. Just worked on. I was salon coordinator, which is basically a glorified receptionist.
Yes.
Then I came away and did a little bit of hair again for a little while, and then I ended up back there. But this time I was salon coordinator, and I had got to a certain point and I needed something else. The weight training and stuff, I wanted to get fitter.
Yeah.
I'd lost quite a bit of weight. I think I was down to 80 kg at this point, and I wanted something more. One of the guys in the gym had started doing pads with another girl. And I was in for a class with her. And it was only her. There's meant to be like 6. It's like a small group.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, Mel's in. We'll have to do class unless she wants to do pads. And I was like, never really done it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
So it was just boxing pads, and I loved it. And he's like, here, you're all right at this. So we kept doing the pads then. It was just hands, and then he said, you're really enjoying this. And you're not terrible at it. You can punch. Why don't you go? I can't take you any further. I'm a PT. Go and find a gym.
Well,
go
do
kickboxing. Go do something
with this.
Yeah. So that happened, and then literally a few days later, I was out for a walk, getting my steps in, and I was walking down Bangor, and I had seen hybrid, and I was like, I've never seen that before. And then when I got closer, yeah. When I got closer, I was like, that they do, like, it says they do one-to-ones, and they'll have pads in there. So I sent a message whenever I finished my walk. I got home, sat down, I was like, I'm going to message them just to see if they do classes for women.
Fair play to you.
And I got Arno, and he messaged me back, why don't you come in and do a couple of one-to-ones, and then filter into the classes, and then it just
brilliant.
Yeah. So I was
That's and that's how your path can be altered.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You had the PT.
Yeah.
Who kind of praised you and gave you a compliment that you've got a natural kind of talent there, and then also you kind of were courageous yourself.
Yeah.
To, like, who looks at an MMA gym and thinks, I'd love to go in there, but don't.
Well, if he had never had that conversation with me, I never would have.
Yeah.
I
So,
probably wouldn't even have noticed it.
yeah.
It was just purely on the back of that conversation. It was there.
Yeah, and then you seen
Yeah.
it, and then you got Arno.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
it's even, the stories even madder than that. It took now, later on into me knowing Arno about a year, I met Hayley, his wife. Me and
Yes.
Hayley and I were very close too. But she was in, and I had met her properly. We became friends on Facebook, and it was, you know, when you first accept someone's friend request, all their stuff starts coming.
yes,
on
the
their-
algorithm
on your-
kind
yeah.
of thing.
And I saw a picture she had shared of the past, and I was like, I know that the brand on that guy's t-shirt. So I zoomed in. I was like, hang on a minute, I think I know him. And then I looked at the name. So obviously Hayley's married, so I knew she was Dos Santos. I didn't know her married name,
Yes.
her maiden name, and I screenshot it and sent it to my stepdad, who I spoke with. So going back a wee bit, my mum and my stepdad that I moved over here with, they were here 3 years and then they moved to America. So
Wow,
I
very good.
stayed. I don't know why I didn't go to America. Yeah, that's one of the things I do regret. I'm only joking. So they moved. They were only here. Maybe not even 3 years, and then they moved on
Yeah.
to America. But it turns out that man in that picture, who's Hayley, turned out to be Hayley's dad, was the only friend that my stepdad made, like good friend that he made when he lived here, and still is in contact with. They
Stop
worked
it.
together for the same company.
Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
the synchronicity of that,
Yeah.
the generational thing of that, and the whole, you know, the two different groups of people, right? You know, clicking.
Completely from different places.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then it came about. I remember them talking about
No
Alex
way.
and talking about them, but obviously it would never
No,
really
no, but it
registered.
was just we
About
seeds were
Alex's daughter
planted,
and
and
about
it all
her
had.
job and stuff. And then
Wow.
even they had parked the car. And I don't know where, I was probably at the concert, but it was like Snow Patrol or Eminem, one of
Yeah.
those, when we lived next to Ward Park. Arno and Hayley parked the car in our driveway, but this has been
Stop
years ago. Yeah, and then I think Arno has like $1 bill or something that is folded into shape that Tom, my stepdad, had given him.
Stop
And
it.
yeah, it's like,
Stop it.
it's just really,
It just,
yeah.
it all just fell into place, like,
Yeah.
really. No, I love that. So, how so you went into.
It's getting confusing now, isn't it?
No, it's all good. I'm just so you went. How long was it between your first fight then, from going in, walking through them doors?
This is when I get confused. So I walked in.
Had you any ambitions to fight, or
No.
you still just wanted to do
I
pads?
didn't want anybody to hit me.
Ah.
I grew up with big brothers. I had enough of that. Yeah, no, Arnold will laugh himself and he'll say, they all say they don't want to fight. So
Yeah.
I literally went for the fitness side of things.
Of course.
And really, really enjoyed it. And it was ages, so there's a wee bit more to the story. I would have gone to him, it became mental health I went to him for
Yes.
as well. It started with
Yes.
fitness, and then it just made me feel, and I got to the point where if I didn't go in and do those sessions, I felt
Yep.
I would be like, I'm ready to
Yeah.
like kill my children.
Yeah.
Usually was the
That's normal.
yeah. So through being in with him regularly, we, like as client and PT, we had quite a good relationship in the sense of he became sort of like a therapist. He still is my therapist. He always thinks that I think I don't pay him enough for that. And sort of COVID had already happened, the main
Yes.
bit, but then it was like, do you know how for a while they closed again, and then you only like to do one-to-ones, and so through all this, while I was still going, he's like, I've lost more weight, and he's like, we would speak about, he gave me a plan to look at, and I was able to alter it to my calories and stuff,
Yes.
and he's like, that's really, really good, most people don't get that. Have you thought about looking into this? You've said you're not happy with your job, like you feel
Yeah.
like this isn't the job
Yeah.
that you want to be doing.
It's like your calling.
I wasn't sure I was going to have a job. We were closed, hairdressers were closed early,
Close
and they kept shut. And with me not making the salon money, I knew if something happened and they had to cut jobs, mine would be,
Yeah, you were
I would go going first. And he had said, why don't you look into doing qualifications and help people do what you've done?
Very
Like you
good.
could, and I
Very
was like,
good.
I would love to do that.
Wow.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, can I do that? Am I capable
The
of
doubt.
that? But then he was like, every week I was in with him. He'd be like, have you looked at courses yet? Any crack with that? Have you even looked into it?
Yeah.
So it took me a while.
Prompted and reminded, encouraged you.
So then I did it, and I ended up doing nutrition, and then I did the fitness side of things as well.
Class.
And then it was coming to the end of COVID, and he was like, well, now that you've got your qualifications, there's a space here if you want to.
No way.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I was like, yes. Of course. Because I had no plans of what I didn't know what I was going to do, where I was going to work or anything. I just was doing this.
Yeah.
I was doing it online because of COVID and stuff anyway. So then the gym reopened as normal, and as the gym was opening, I was due to start working there too. He also at that time ran a female beginners course. It was the first one opening up.
Brilliant.
And I don't think they'd done a female one before. It was a 6-week block, and I was like, right, well, I really love. At this point, I was still just hitting pads. I'd never done any drilling or anything, had anyone hit me. And I was like, I'm going to be working in here. I don't really fancy that huggy stuff, but I'll give it a go. I'll do the course, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's class. Just to touch on something, see when people kind of see, the odd post on social media about your fights or a wee bit of training or a selfie at the gym, they don't see all this.
No.
They really don't.
No.
And that's why I just fucking I'm loving the whole backstory, like.
Yeah. Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Mine's is nuts.
But I think it just gives so much more credibility.
Yeah.
Because you're not just turning up. Say people that want to have a one-to-one with you or something. They're not just turning up to like a profile picture on Facebook.
No.
Hopefully they watch this and they see your whole backstory behind the curtain. Because I didn't know the half of it, like.
No.
I think that was good too. I could be like inquisitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's that. I love that whole story, like, because obviously I know Arno now.
Yeah.
If that story wouldn't have been as good if I didn't know
if
Arno.
you didn't, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but no, that was class. So tell me this: what was the first ding in the face like?
Right. How I started, I did the course and I still wasn't fighting.
Yes.
I was just doing it, and I was going to train wee bits, but no.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to fight, wasn't sparring, hadn't sparred, and then it was actually Arnold was like, we'll get you, he said a few times, I think we could get you doing like a white collar boxing just to see. I'm like, no, I don't want to, I never want to fight anyone, I'm not all about that. But then I did start to get curious, because I'm training for this.
Spark.
Yeah, so then he did touch boxing with me.
Yes.
So it was just hands, and you're only allowed to chest and shoulders, you're not allowed to punch in the face. So he did this with me, and I giggled from the start of the timer to the end. I still, for weeks after that, then whenever I started doing a wee bit more with him, if I hit my giggle, I had that just. It
was so unnatural, kind of thing.
But it was like a nervous, I've hit him, but this is really fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was the adrenaline and everything else.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I can't remember who. It was probably, well, I don't know. And this is it.
But you haven't been hit that hard where you went, oh fuck.
Oh, I have in fight.
Oh, in a fight. Yeah.
And then actually my one of my good friends knocked me out a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a big part of my journey too. But I hadn't been hit really hard in the gym.
No.
Until I got into my third MMA fight. So I did a boxing fight to see. Again, I wasn't sure.
What was that?
It was on the Fight Project. Do you know Reese McKee?
Yes.
So I went in. I think I had 9 days notice or something.
No
and
way.
I was like, yeah. At this, I was still.
Which is really common.
Yeah, I was still sitting about 80 kg at this point. So about 78 kg, I think it was. And I loved it. I really, really loved it. Just the buzz.
The lifestyle.
Yeah.
The camp, the run up.
Well, I had 9 days, so it wasn't much of a camp, but it was like that feeling of.
That 9 days, you were loving it.
Yeah, and then do you know it's training for a purpose? Then it's different.
Yeah.
You're training for a purpose.
It makes you sharper.
Yeah.
You know, you utilize every training day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved every, and that's what I enjoy. I enjoy it from start to finish. the camps apart from the weight cut.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that. Didn't really. I wasn't very skilled then. I hadn't been doing it that long.
Yeah, it's
The girl
long.
I was fighting she'd had about 8 weeks or something.
Oh,
So she wasn't.
Did someone pull out? Or
No,
someone get injured?
They just couldn't match her, so then I just did it, and then it was, so it wasn't a very technical fight. There was a lot of, this. Yeah. But I won that, and I was just like, I love that fixie getting your hand raised. I was like, I could do that. I was like, let's work towards an MMA fight. Let's do it.
Way.
Yeah, and then that was, so I think I started training, I can't remember the years. In September I started with Arno, and that would have been it must have been the following, not the February after, but the following February. So I'd just been hitting pads.
Yeah.
And then, so it was about just over a year of training, and then I did the boxing in February, and then it was in that August I did my first MMA fight.
No way.
Yeah, and
Is that a bit more technical?
oh, it was a lot more technical. It's the emotions for me. Although I've learned so much from Arno, he has learned so much from from me in the sense it's great with loads of girls in the gym now.
Yeah.
More coming, and it's nice for me because I was like I think there had been girls training in the gym, but no like ones that were committed to fighting as much.
Yes.
So he's been through all of a roller coaster, especially with me. He would describe me as a teenager with my emotions. There's been a few times I've threw my gloves off, or I've been crying in the middle of sparring. The boys are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Just hit me."
It's a hell of a journey though, isn't it?
Oh, when I see the girls now that are just starting, because we now, which we'll talk about, there's a few of the girls are officially in camp now in the gym, which is the first time we've had a set of girls.
No way.
It's class, but it's seeing them, their frustration, their emotions, their feelings towards it, fear, yeah, and it's like that. I know exactly how you feel, and it's now.
That's the beauty of.
Yeah, it's seeing Arno deal with them. It's like
he could obviously see him and you, and now you can see you and your girls.
Well, I don't think he ever was this emotional. That was a whole new thing for him to
for a guy to deal with.
And now
girls in camp.
He's really, I would say, there's some guys who are just not ready to teach, or built for coaching women, but he's definitely he's fantastic.
yeah, and that's why I'm so excited that I became a member, of Hybrid, like grassroots, because I can see it really going somewhere. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I can see it being a real asset, to the community. I can see some real talented fighters coming out of that
scary.
club. Like,
some of the teens.
And the thing is too, their
younger
age.
Ones.
Their age. That's because obviously, I'm 45 this year, and it's like the best time to do anything is fucking 20 years ago,
Oh, I always wish I started to find it sooner.
It's another thing. It must be a thing, like, but again, that's why it's such an asset to the community, because, growing up in fucking Stranraer, or growing up in, Antrim in the 80s and 90s and stuff, it just wasn't an option. They didn't have them.
No.
They just, I don't know, you might have gone down to a leisure centre and done some karate or something.
Yeah, well, I think I did when I was a child.
Do you know what I mean? I think everybody.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't even. Obviously, there was just very little in the register around me, but I love football. As I said, when I was in primary school, I wasn't even allowed to be in the school team because it was a girl. So
I know, it's just
times have changed.
Times have changed. But I suppose it's like everything. I suppose people 40 years ago were sitting. Well, it's like what Henry Ford said. Everybody was happy enough on horses.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So suppose things change for the worse, things change for the better. But I'm just glad that I kind of fell in with you all at that gym.
And I think the big thing from both of our stories and our journeys is you're never too old.
Never too old.
Never too old to start.
I was doing fucking head kicks for hell the other Sunday here. Fuck me, what? I haven't lifted my leg that high in fucking 20 years. But again, it builds your self-esteem.
Yeah.
I was over the moon. I was sitting watching that video and all after. I was like,
wait till you watch that in another 6 months' time, though. You'll be like,
you'll be looking back and go, that tag me was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, cheap gloves.
Yeah.
But again, I just love progress.
Yeah,
Whether
that's the thing
it's-
I love about it too, and that's why I love the camps when if
You're
you're
on-
in fight camp, you really,
You-
because
you-
the intensity, you level up.
You level up, like.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you don't get to show that, which is the frustrating part, but it's nice to look. I mean, I've lost fights that I should have won, but I've looked at my progression
Performance, and
and
you've been happy with your.
well, yes and no.
Yeah, but you're always going to be critical, aren't you?
Yeah, it's frustrating because you could have won, you could have won. But
Yeah.
you did not, you didn't do, so you didn't maybe give it.
But I truly believe, see that feeling, I should have, could have won.
Yeah,
That's what drives you to do
Yeah.
better next time.
yeah,
So you need the L's,
yeah.
because they are what ultimately drive you to do
Well, they
better.
were, yeah,
Because nobody learns anything from winning,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
but you can.
It's nice, but
There's such a thing as winning and not being happy. Like my second fight, I won, and I was raging with myself after it.
Yeah.
I was like, I did my striking, and that was absolutely shocking. Like, it was terrible. And then there's been fights that I have lost that I've been like,
I love it.
see what I did there. See, like the
Yes.
improvement, and so it you can lose and be happy, and you can
Can
win
win and
and
be sad.
yeah.
But suppose it's why it's kind of why I have a fondness for jiu-jitsu. It's a philosophy. It's win or learn.
Yeah.
And you can and that spills into life.
Yeah.
It spills into this podcast. It spills into my relationships with Tammy and the kids, and it spills out. There's no losing.
No.
There's no mistakes. There's no failure.
No.
We're all just trying to get on with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I do. I think everyone says what's the key to happiness.
Yeah.
I definitely think progress has to be up there.
You appreciate where you are from where you were.
Absolutely, and I think it resonates with something inside. Do you know what I mean? It's like me personally. If I didn't have goals for like a whole year,
Yeah.
I would be one miserable bastard.
I've never.
I couldn't look back on my life and be happy with it.
No.
But when I get to December and you look back and I go, fucking hell, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be my argument. You have to be having some kind of progress in some kind of area of your life for happiness. Like, it has to be in there. Progress has to be in there. Like,
Yeah, it is that. Like, say it's goals. And then reaching the goals
and growing as a person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what was it? If you're the same person you were 20 years ago, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You know what kind of argument?
I would have been on the boat on the way over, not long over.
No.
That's it. It was 20 years ago was when I moved over here.
20 years.
Yeah.
So how do you? Yeah, you've just been a hairdresser now, strand now.
Yeah.
Married to a joiner.
Yeah. With our little hairdresser doing your babies.
So when what was your peak when you were fighting? Was there one stage of it, or was there one fight? Was there one moment where you just fucking got the best buzz? Like, was there been loads, or was there been just the one? Or
There's been my last fight probably was that moment.
fuck yes,
So
that was
I-
special.
Yeah, so I did the boxing fight, won it. Did my novice MMA fight against Rachel McElhaga, won it. Pretty much the same fashion as I did my last one. I clinched the need.
Yeah,
That was pretty special, that first one.
of course.
That was
First everything.
It's the first time I thought I actually might be good at this.
Yeah,
I allowed myself to
believe
sort
in
of-
yourself or something,
yeah,
or enjoy
yeah,
it.
Yeah, and then a few months later, so that maybe was in April actually, because then anyway I had like a 3 month, whenever it was, I had a 3 month turnaround, and then
Yeah.
I was fighting back in with the same girl, with Rachel.
Oh wow,
So then she asked for a rematch.
gotcha.
So I then had my amateur debut against her. So
Yes.
the difference then from novice, it's 2 minute rounds and you've shin pads on, and when you reach the floor there's no ground and pound to the head anyway.
Yeah.
You can punch them in the body. When you go to amateur, the shin pads come off. It's 3 minute rounds, and when you hit the floor, you've got
pound.
your ground and pound. I remember being so scared about not having shin pads on, and now I hate shin pads. But I fought that fight then, and I won that, and I that was better. I was able to show more. So I love striking. It's what I enjoy. It gets me the biggest buzz. But I'm probably naturally more better on the floor at grappling.
Yeah.
But
I know.
do you know? So I did a little bit of everything in that fight.
You got to really showcase.
It was MMA, whereas the first one I again clinched knees like I did in my last one.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy with my striking in that, so I didn't have a big buzz after the second fight as I thought I would. Yeah. So by this stage I'd won though, and I thought I was the bee's knees. Not lost. That was 3 fights. The boxing, I was like, I haven't lost yet. I am great.
Yep.
At this point we realised, so something I had missed out after I did the boxing, I sort of realised Arno and Andy at the time never said anything in so many words. They sort of let me figure out myself that if I was going to fight MMA, I wasn't going to be able to fight at that weight, because there's no weight division for women. The sort of heaviest, unless it's going to be like a catch weight, that you're going to get a fight, 66 kilograms.
Okay.
So I was sitting about 78 at this point. So I realised I'm going to have to go lose more weight, and at this point I felt fantastic because I had been 102, and everyone was telling me how amazing I looked. But for purposes of fighting, it was too heavy.
Yeah.
So, like that was another reason I think me and Rachel ended up. I took the second fight with Rachel because there was nobody else 66. We were the big girls at 66 kilograms, which is what I think it's 10 stone something.
I know. It's
madness. So then we looked.
66 is the big girl.
Yeah, that is. They are the. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It is getting better. You see more catch weights at the heavier weights and stuff. But we went over. We took a fight over in England.
Okay.
And I was like the first out of from they had opened that gym. I was the first to travel away to fight as well.
Okay.
So I was like, this is amazing. I am great. I'm gonna
go
in.
Yeah. 3-0.
Yeah, incoming. There's another big win coming. So my opponent Megan, her fight name is the Gypsy Queen.
Okay.
So that should be telltale right there.
Yeah.
So I went in anyway. It was not a nice experience. I'd never travelled away. The whole travelling, you know yourself.
The whole preparation.
Yeah.
It's all.
You feel tired from the travel.
Absolutely. Alone. And then what about you like eating?
Yeah.
You're having to eat.
Yeah, you
You're not eating what you want. You gotta go with what's on the table.
But then you have to be safe as well, because
Absolutely.
you don't want to upset stomach.
Of course.
I probably should have been a wee bit smart with the food. I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
But we got to the venue and I was like, I was going to be fighting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, what? Because there's such talent and more fighters over there.
Yeah, the cards started early.
Yeah, and there was more female fights, whereas over here there's like one normally on every show.
Yeah.
So I had to get ready quite quickly. Everyone was filling in our changing room. So in the backup room normally, you're there and you're in with other gyms. So you'll have a red corner and a blue corner. All the people who are fighting blue will be in one room, warming up.
Yeah.
All the people in red. My warm-up area for that in this particular venue was, do you know the breeze blocks with the metal gate with a curtain around it? In the actual room where the fight. So while I'm in, total big group of English fellas and probably from Wales everywhere, I'm there like, I can hear the crowd. There's a couple of fights on. The fight before mine, I could hear them chanting, "You fat bastard, you fat bastard." He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. So I was like that. Like it was one of the moments where I let my head. Like I'd lost that. I'd lost
that fight before.
Arnold was like, right, let's warm up. There's people sat on the mat where you're supposed to warm up. They wouldn't move. So we had a small area, and he was like, right, what else do you want to go over? And I was like, nothing. He said after, he said, I knew then not to push you.
Yeah.
So then, as well, we're spoiled over here. You get your hands wrapped over here, but it's you pay to have them professionally wrapped.
Yeah.
But they will call you an order of the cards, so
Yeah.
you'll have someone in your room. Whoever's first one gets their hand wrapped, and they'll go down the list. You don't have to have your hands wrapped over there. They're not like pushy with it at all. So it was first come first serve. So I had to stand in a queue to get my hands wrapped, and I was tired.
Yeah, it's all exhausting.
And then
it's all energy kind of depleting.
it was my time to walk. So they had last minute changed. She changed what changing room she wanted to be in, and she was a big ticket seller. So she wanted to be in with her mates. So they messed the walk up. They called her name and started playing my song. Then they called my name and played her song. So we both walked out to my song. Like, so at that point, you're that song. You should never like. 'Cause it happens quite a lot more than you think. The
I
walkout
know.
songs get messed up, but that's you're waiting for that because you know it's go time. You've picked that song.
That's going
When you hear
trigger you.
when you're picking that song, you pick a song that gets your
It
belly.
resonates
Yeah.
with you.
So I was not focused at all. Went in, fight started. I threw a leg kick, didn't move out the way. She hit me a right hand down the middle, broke her hand, and I had flash concussion. I managed to wrestle on for about another 40 seconds, and then she hit me again, got me again. That was the fight done in the first round.
You just hit 2 whoppers.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now I got her with caught her with a couple of wee things as well. But a minute 40 into the first round of travelling over, going through all that. The guys from the gym had set up the gym with the projector, and we're all sat watching for a minute and a half
But tell me this: did it drive you to be better, or was it?
Yeah.
Do you draw on that? Have you ever?
Well, I got to fight her again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Why are you doing this?"
Oh.
So the opportunity came up. I lost a bit of my. Yes, I had the drive, but I developed a mental block from that fight because I felt very embarrassed because I was finished in the first round. Do you know? It's nobody else. Everyone forgets about that by the time you get back to the gym. But people were tuning in to watch me. It was my first loss, and it was a big loss.
Yeah.
And it was, it was a big loss. So there was a lot of I had a lot of emotion and embarrassment.
Yeah.
And with embarrassment comes self-doubt. And then from that moment I developed a bit of a mental block, whereas and for a few fights after that I just went in and tried to play it safe, and I lost because I went in and I didn't fight. My first 2 fights I went in to brawl. I went in to take a risk. I would take shots to make shots. But obviously I had that fear because it was just one shot and I was I had this mental block that it took me a while, and it was very frustrating for Arno. He used to say, "You're an absolute dog in the gym," and then you get in the cage and you don't. The switch doesn't go. You play it safe.
And then how did you deal with that? Did you just get back on the horse? Is it that kind of thing? Or?
We tried a few things. We tried that. I tried looking at getting a therapist, sort of someone, sports psychologist, but I couldn't afford it. And it's not. I always knew I was never going to UFC. I was too to start too late, and I had no interest in that sort of life.
Yeah.
So it wasn't worth me investing the money. Well, I knew I was getting older. I could feel it because I had abused my body with weight.
Yes.
I feel my joints and stuff a lot more because there was years of them taking extra pressure from the weight and stuff. I knew it wasn't a lifetime career for me.
Yeah.
So we kind of plodded along. I sort of we put away. There's a couple of fights where I'm fine this time. I'm going to do it. I'm over it. I'm getting in there, and it happened again.
And what does that experience like? If you're in the ring and you're ready to rock and roll,
it's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
And then do you freeze up?
There's been various different outcomes. So
there's fight, freeze, or flight.
Yeah, but it was mostly so. It has became now where I had got comfy against the cage.
Got you.
So in that clench position, but there's times if you have a look at my card as well, I've never took an easy fight.
Yeah. Never
took an easy fight. Even that fight, my first 2 fights, Rachel was probably my level. She'd been training slightly longer than me, but she came from next gen, and it was never going to be. She's well trained. Her coach was Arnold's coach, Rodney Moore. So I knew it was never going to be.
Yeah, follow me.
It was never. Yeah, well, it wasn't going to be an easy fight. Going over to England, obviously I didn't know, and then Megan, I've still never been hit that hard, and I had this conversation with her because I speak to her regularly, and she even said the boys in the gym will say they've never been hit as hard as she honestly.
And it's just that natural strength, or was it pure technique?
No, it's natural.
Just natural.
Yeah, absolutely natural. So then after her, I then fought. I had a fight already booked, but it was against a girl who she was due to make her debut before COVID, so she must have been training for a good while before that. She also did wrestling quite a bit, so she pinned me for 3 rounds.
Yeah, well that helps.
She pinned me, and that I believe that fight would have been scored differently now, if it was now than then, because they've sort of changed. Yes, she had cage control, but she wasn't active, where I was still punching her while I was actively pinned. So it's changed the way they look at that now. But she just, her arms were so long, even I was like, I've never seen anyone, and her grip, the grip she had, it was so, I couldn't do anything. 3 rounds, I was like literally there.
And because obviously, you know, I've been pinned myself, but that's just in the gym. You know you're safe, you can tap at any point. What the fuck is that like when you're in the octagon getting pinned?
Oh, it's frustrating. Very, 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 very frustrating. When you just can't. Like, now there's ways now. I know there's ways I could have gotten. You know, just at I was stuck
at that stage.
At the way, I was stuck there, and I was still like punching and stuff. I gave her my leg so she took me down at one point.
Yes.
But then I ended up back there, and Owen was like, "Do not go in for the clinch with her.
Yeah.
Move, move. Don't let her. She's gonna try and pin you." Did it again, because that's my natural instinct.
I know,
I feel safe there.
Yeah.
So then that was that fight. After that, I had Emer Dorsey. You've maybe seen that one. That was in the last one. No, it wasn't the last one. It was my last one in the Le Mans on Fit to Fight. It was a title fight.
No.
So it was a title fight. It was supposed to be a tournament, so there's supposed to be 4 of us, and then whoever wins fought for the final. But there was no other girls. There's no girls that way, so it ended up being Emer. So Emer was on. She already had a title. I knew she was good. She'd fought one of the girls, Dolores, that used to train with us, and she ended up. Dolores took a shot that wobbled her and caught her ear, so then her balance was off, and then I think she got her with her. She finished TKO'd her with her body shot, because they're lethal in the second round. So we kind of knew, from looking at her fights, we knew she was coming in to do a certain thing, style, and we trained for that. I was going to wrestle. I was going to clinch and wrestle. That was what the plan was. So I had hurt in the camp. I'd hurt my back and my neck quite badly, but I just I trained on and I wanted to do it. It was a little fight, and even in the back, that when we were warming up, it was sore, and Arnold was like, "Don't wrestle, just save it for in there."
Yeah.
So I got in, and again, I had struggled. I actually didn't make weight for that fight.
By far.
That was the hot tub incident, but no, my body just stopped. When I'm stressed, I hold water, and my body just stopped. And I was weight cutting for, I don't know how long, like from the minute I could till the minute, like till after I was in, it just wasn't. It just stopped. So it wasn't by much. It was less than a kilogram.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but she still accepted the fight. So
but it wasn't her title then?
She could win the title, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
So that in itself.
Demotivating.
Yes. Yeah. And then.
Isn't it so interesting how many fights are lost?
Yeah.
For loads of different variables before the actual fight.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, in your head, you're the biggest fight, even in a physical fight, is in your head. If you get in thinking. If you think anything other than I'm winning this fight, you're not going to win it. Yeah, you
have to be 100%.
Yeah.
And it can be even, as you said, not getting to walk out to your song.
Yeah, well, there's a zone that you don't care, like
the flow.
I've
got to go into that flow state.
I've went and I fought when I've sold 40 tickets, 50 tickets, and then there's been my club there too, like, and I have not realised one of them's there. When you make that walk out to your song, your eyes you're going in to do a job. You don't, there's people there, like your dad, your mum, to be there, but you are
laser focused.
You're laser focused. Yes, you might be like, but you're going in to get that job done. So it can totally bring you out of that zone.
Of course.
And there's loads of things going on behind the scenes. It's never happened to me, but there's loads of the boys, and I've seen where they've maybe warmed up. So you warm up so that you're warm. Because if you imagine training without being warm up, it's you're stiff. You can get hurt. You need to be warm. Sometimes I've heard of things where you've warmed up and you're waiting to go, and then they're like, they're putting a break on. Yeah. It's actually a tactic. I think some people do it on purpose. You're not on for another 10 minutes, so you've warmed up and you've cooled down.
You've already lost that.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
All the things you don't think of when it's not you doing it.
No. There's so many outside variables that affect the performance. Even traveling to the venue. Yeah. You're at the hotel or the taxis later, the coaches. Yeah. There's you know, yeah, I can imagine.
It's so traveling is. I do not like fighting traveling. Like I will always do it because it's for me it's the journey of obviously you're going to win and to make a statement somewhere else that's not your hometown,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the whole
And
getting the story and the journey and the
yeah.
you know the getting to travel.
Absolutely.
And like I can't wait to sit and tell my grandkids that time I went and I fought the Gypsy Queen in England and then I went and fought her again in Wales. Do you know?
Yeah.
There was talk of me possibly fighting in Mallorca there, but that didn't obviously. It didn't end up happening.
Yeah, that
I
would
was
be so
supposed
cool.
to. Yeah, I was supposed to fight in Cork, but that got
No
pulled.
way.
I found out a week before that was pulled because.
A week before,
yeah.
and we get camp, the whole shebango.
No, it wasn't a lot. It had only been in a couple of weeks. It was
right.
like a last minute thing, but maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Again, that's another variable in the background. You know, you're
Yeah.
fully committed, and then is my opponent going to get injured? Are they going to pull out? Or you know, but yeah, no. Let's talk about your promotion.
The exciting part.
The exciting part. No, I've enjoyed it all. But this is what we would call, you know, what does the future hold?
Yeah. The future is.
You know, so you've got all that experience now.
Yeah.
And what inspired the name?
So, I just was Googling, to be honest. It's not, it doesn't mean anything. It does now, but it didn't mean anything very personal to me. So it's called Artemis. She is the Greek goddess of the hunt. So most people go Athena.
Yeah.
But she is hunt and wilderness. But she's also then, later on, she became connected to the moon.
Yes.
Now, anyone who knows me knows Arno refuses to train me when there's a full moon. Literally, because that's when that's normally when I am teeing off on someone while I am crying.
No way.
Yeah. So I sort of was googling names and obviously I knew Athena was a popular name and I saw it and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That is the one.
Class.
So that's where it came from. Obviously, it's a female-only promotion, so through all the weight cuts and realising there's no females, me having to cut weight, I've had to take hard fights because there's nobody else to fight.
Yeah.
The boys have, it's very good to match boys because there's options. You'll always find a load of boys the same level that way, whereas you just kind of have to go with it.
Yeah.
When you're female, and then there's obviously the weight cuts which aren't good. I'm now not fighting because I'm sick of the weight cuts and the effect it has on your body. And I realised.
There's a gap there for different catchment areas in the female world.
That's something I do want to look at.
Yeah.
But I realised some girls just want to fight, they're not getting to fight, they're not getting to be active because there's no fights out there or with the weight thing and other reasons. And it was actually, I was speaking to a guy in Strabane who runs Strabane Martial Arts. They're now 2 boys that run that and I'm really, really good friends with. They were saying, how do you get your girls? Because I then started coaching and taking the female kickboxing class just to try and get more girls involved. And he's like, what do you do for sparring? How are your girls getting on? He came across me through my podcast page.
Very good.
I'd interviewed Rachel.
Yes.
Who's now me and her very good friends. And she fights K1 kickboxing.
Want to give your podcast a big shout out?
It's if you go onto Instagram and look for Like a Girl Fight Stories, there's loads of things now. It's progressed into there's clips of me interviewing, but there's also like any events, female events, or information for female on there. It's great. So it obviously worked because he had seen it. And then he was like, would you and Rachel, he knew I was friends with Rachel, come up and spar with my girls so that the different bodies.
Very good.
They're sparring with the boys, but the boys go easy on them. And I was like, I have a few friends, I'll bring my girls up if you want, we'll make a day of it. And then he was like, aye. And I put the word out and I was like, there's quite a few here that want to come to this. How many does your mat hold? And he was like, oh, we're big. It's fine. And I says, let's make this an event, let's put a poster out and invite all the clubs. Because it's not just kickboxing, we can invite all the MMA clubs and all the Muay Thai, because it's just standard sparring. It just snowballed from there. We had over 70 females turn up.
Stop that.
From age 6 up.
Wow.
Sparring. If you go on to the Like a Girl page, you'll see the pictures and the reels and stuff. I was like, whoa! I've done this. Me and the boys have done. Like, this is crazy.
But it just goes to show there's a demand there.
But that's what it was. It was at that point I realised.
And is that where the promotion kind of sparked there?
Yeah. It was at
from
that point. Well,
you knew then. You knew 70 girls you wanted to scrap. So.
I was very lucky that I've met DD. Who'd very much be like Arno. He'd remind you of him, and his ethics are quite similar in the sense he just wants everybody to do well, and he will quite happily share his knowledge and time.
Class.
He's another Arno. So he had said, "You not do a wee show?" And I was like,
"No way."
I was like, "I would love to. I would love to." I spoke about it before, like one day that I would love to do that, and then he said it. And then I saw what was in front of me, and I was like, right, let's do it. I spoke to Arno, because obviously he runs Wrath.
Yeah.
Now, he runs a good show. Him and Haley have been around. He's been a fighter himself. She works at a lot of the shows. People don't know that about her, and she has good idea behind the scenes. So them two
mechanics of a show.
Those two together have the perfect formula for a fantastic show for everyone.
Yeah.
So obviously I had been involved in the RAS, either I had fought on one and then I had helped, and then I had spoke. I was like, "Arno, I really want to do this," and he was like, "Yeah, you can do it. You can do that, no bother." And then he was like, I was like, "Right, I'm doing it, Arno, but I want to do it like now." And he's like, "Whoa!" He's like, "You need to think this through. Yes, you can do it, but that's quite soon." Like, and I was like, "I want to do it." And
so what is the date?
27th of September.
27th of September.
Yeah, and it's in shorts. So basically, I was like, right, I'm going to do this. I have found the common thing, which is K1, which is the kickboxing.
Yeah.
So if you fight if you look at the K1 rule set, it suits. Muay Thai can jump into that. The MMA girls can jump into that, and then you have the kickboxers there already. Like, it's their sport. So it was just something that, like, obviously the ones that just do K1 kickboxing wouldn't be able to jump into MMA because there's no grappling, and then if you go into K1 there's no real clinch, you can't sweep. So imagine trying to fight someone in the real set of being able to do that. But if you're Muay Thai, you can take that out of yours and jump in. So that was the middle ground. And I was like, if I have 70 women turning up the day here to spar, I can put a full card on.
Absolutely.
And there's people that said you'll struggle, you'll not fill a card. I'm sitting here 9 weeks out and I have enough for a full card already.
Wow.
I'm keeping on matching because of a certain amount there will be pull-out. There always is. But I've just been so fortunate because obviously I did a Muay Thai fight. And I train. That's my passion is Muay Thai. I love it. So I've been involved with the gyms there. I know people that have fought, so I'm in that sort of community. Rachel, she's like one of my best friends. She obviously fights K1. That's what she does. She went to K1 after MMA, and then D, he's all the connections, and he's well. You know, he's looked up to. I've not met anyone that's had a bad word to say about him.
Very good.
And so I've his connections and his experience and that's his style.
It's all coming together nicely.
And then I've got Arno who knows how to run the show.
Absolutely.
And you know, he helps me. I've went over all my budgets and stuff for him to run his eye over. He's sort of, if anything I'm not sure of.
Class. If
there's something I think I don't need but I want to put on the show, I'll run it by him because I know he'll say no. Or he'll say So I'm very fortunate.
Absolutely.
I'm not fooled into thinking I wouldn't be doing this or be able to do it. It's me doing it and it's my drive.
You're driving it.
But it's the team around me. Even the girl doing it. I don't know if you've seen the social media sort of posts, the fight posters and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Have you met Jamie?
She was coming in.
Yeah.
She was leaving Health last week as I was coming in.
So it's her that does all of that for me, and it's her. She's just finding her feet. She's never done this before. So
they look good.
She's incredible.
She's a natural.
Anything I've asked her to do, it's like she's taken it out of my head and made it better.
No, they're very, very professional.
And the stuff that's coming and the stuff she's done, like, it's unreal, and it helps as well because she's a girl.
Absolutely.
So,
it keeps the brand as such, the female thing.
And it's going to be. There's been an all-female Muay Thai showdown in Dublin, but up here I think it's the first female event of anything, and it's definitely the first female K1, all-female K1 event. So it's history as well.
It really is. That's it's something else.
The hype is starting. Like I'm on this. I wanted to talk about it and let everybody know about it, but it will be
a banger.
Yeah, the amount of gyms as well. That gyms I would I respected gyms that I'm like, I can't believe they said my names, like,
No
for,
way.
yeah, and then I've 2 title fights on it as well.
Stop it.
Yeah, 2 title fights, so I can't,
No.
I can tell that one's just been announced today, it's the cadet, so
Okay.
there's 2 very talented young ladies that they've fought Muay Thai before.
Yeah.
So they're getting in to do Oriental rules. So this is another thing different. Oriental is a style of rules in kickboxing where you are actually allowed to clinch.
Okay.
You're not allowed to sweep.
Yeah.
You can like catch and strike one strike, but you're not allowed to like sweep.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to. You will be broken up. You can't clinch for 3 straight rounds. You
Got
can
ya.
hold on for a bit longer and throw knees. So it's very suited to the Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why have I never heard of this before?
Ah.
I would have been all over. I'd have been all over this. So it's not fought very often because it's normally K1 or sort of no kick.
Yeah.
So that's announced today. They're getting in to face each other again, but under a different rule set for a title.
So
It's
it's all
ISK.
go.
Yeah, I'm sanctioned by the ISK or ISKA, depending on who you talk
Yeah.
to. It gets called differently, but they've been obviously they're delighted that it's under them that there's going to
Wow.
be female because it's such a
You're it's grassroots as such.
Yeah.
In the sense, yeah. So I can see a big future here.
Oh, I've big plans. I must also say what's even more special about this for me is it's my daughter's she'll be fighting on it. So
Stop it.
she's done an exhibition before, so she's got into ring and she's done like in front of a small crowd. But this is her first fight.
Wow, because I've seen her training.
Yeah.
I thought. So she's actually in camp.
She's in camp.
No way.
Yep, she's already injured, but she's in. She's having to take
What a
leave
wee
and go.
gem.
Yeah, and there's now I know it just gets better. So from hybrid, I think there's 5 girls matched. To be honest, including my mate, there's 5 of them,
Wow.
and most of them their first experience on those mats was in my class.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you've got a good system in place.
Yeah. Well, they've all progressed now and they train with me. They've become my training partners rather than.
Yeah.
But most of them their first, like Debbie. She used to come to 1-to-1s for me. She's a very nervous person, so she came for a bit of self-defense. And she's now like like me, and not fighting now. She's fantastic. And then the other girls are like, it's so refreshing for me from going from being one of maybe 2 in the whole gym, females in the whole gym, and most of the time being the only girl.
Yeah.
To having like it's strange. It's very, very exciting though.
It's very rewarding too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's
Do you know what I mean?
it's really nice for me now. Obviously, I've retired from. I decided I'd had enough of fight camps. I would, when I say I've retired, if next year a fight came along and I was in a good
And you
place
fancy it.
and my weight was in order, I wouldn't do a water cut again like that, or a weight cut and a water cut. That's what kind of was enough for me. Especially if it was Muay Thai, I would fight again. I'm not saying I will never fight, but I'm not actively. I'm done with MMA, I think, because there's only going to be that lower weight.
Yeah.
If I want to fight, now I love it. It's just it's
I know it needs to change a wee
I'm
bit.
I will be. I'm a few years off 40. It's now my kids' time to
Of course.
if you would have seen, I handed the gloves over now to Mel.
I know.
It's her turn now.
I know, it was awesome. It was touching.
And I have this. I started the podcast up knowing I was gonna be stopping fighting, thinking that's my way of staying involved.
Yeah, you can still get rewarded from the game, like without having to dance.
I have now seen. I think this is where I'm supposed to do. I think I was supposed to fight purely. I really feel like this was meant where I was supposed to go.
Yeah, it's your space. It's your calling.
Yeah.
Okay, man. It has been a fucking blast. Thanks for coming on.
No,
I
thank
really,
you for
really,
having me
really, really, really enjoyed it. And usually I'd have cracked open a few beers and I've kept this conversation going.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have to go to work.
I know. That's sad. I have to go be mummy now.
And you gotta go be mummy.
I've got to go be mummy.
So, put it there.
Thank you. I'll see you in the gym on Monday.
Yep. You're a star.
I'll try to go easy on you.